WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A tow truck driver is lucky to be alive tonight. He was helping a stranded driver on the side of the highway when an 18-wheeler hit his wrecker.
Yeah, this morning's accident is a reminder of Mississippi's move-over law. WCBI's Jory Talley joins us live in Columbus with more on the dangers tow truck drivers face on the road. Jory?
Andre and Joey, move over. It's that easy. But today I witnessed what happens when drivers don't do that.
If I'd have been on that driver's side of that vehicle, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now.
An early morning call turned into an eye-opening experience for tow truck driver Clay Stockman.
Out on Highway 50 headed towards West Point, about half a mile from the river bridge. And I was strapping my tires down just like I normally do on any vehicle. And next thing I know, a diesel truck hits my driver's side door on my truck.
Stockman says he walked over to the other side of the Champion's recovery truck minutes before the hit and run.
There's no telling what could have happened. Or if one of the customers had decided to walk on that driver's side of the vehicle, neither one of us would be standing where we are. I mean, the way that 18-wheeler hit that truck, I mean, it would have tore me apart.
Champion's Towing and Recovery owner Donald Barksdale says it's their goal to keep customers safe, hook cars up as fast as possible, and to get off the road because there's no telling what can happen.
We just lost a driver in Tuscaloosa, which is real close to home here. And now today it's happened to us. You know, my guys, they run 15 to 20 calls a day, and they're on the side of the road doing tire changes, fuel deliveries, and in like this situation today, just pulled over helping a stranded motorist to get off the side of the interstate.
Mississippi's move-over law is designed to prevent accidents like this one, but part of the problem is people aren't aware of the law and don't realize wreckers are included in it.
If you're approaching an emergency vehicle that's on the shoulder of the roadway, if it's safe to do so, on your 4-lane highway, for instance, move over to that adjacent lane if it's safe to do so. If not, slow down as you're, passing the vehicle.
Luckily, Stockman escaped today's close call, but he wants people to learn so he doesn't have to worry about the next time.
There's so many people that just don't slow down and move over like they're supposed to for us. I mean, we're out there helping people, and all they want to do is just get home or get to work or get to lunch. I mean, we want to do the same things they do, but if they don't slow down and move over, we may not have that chance. They may be that one person that strikes us down and we're not able to make it home.
The 18-wheeler never stopped after hitting the tow truck, but the Mississippi Highway Patrol caught up with the driver not long after arriving to the scene. Trooper Bell says that an auto report is being created as we speak. This is an ongoing investigation. Live in Columbus, Jory Talley, WCBI News. Back to the studio.
All right, Jory, thanks so much for that report. The man accused of putting a store clerk in a chokehold at a Union County store breaks a deputy's nose. Sheriff Jimmy Edwards says 21-year-old Daniel Berry was being escorted to Justice Court this morning when he started acting erratically. As Berry approached a doorway, he headbutted the deputy. Edwards says a cut on the deputy's nose was glued back together. Berry is charged with strong armed robbery. Now he's also facing 3 counts of assault on a law enforcement officer. Edwards says Berry assaulted a jailer last night. Berry is accused of going into West Union Grocery Tuesday night, yelling and screaming. Edwards believes the Ole Miss student put the clerk in a chokehold before taking $20. Several customers tackled him before deputies arrived. Berry was taken to the hospital for treatment today. Law enforcement believe he took some type of drug. He's being held on a $200,000 bond.
2 traffic stops and 2 arrests in Monroe County. James Umel of Hamilton was arrested Wednesday on Old Highway 25 and charged with possession of a controlled substance. He remains in jail tonight. Kelsey Lane Bullock of Tupelo was picked up this morning after a traffic stop on Highway 278. Bullock is charged with possession of a controlled substance. She's also in jail waiting for her bond to be set.
3 different agencies helped make the latest methamphetamine arrest in North Mississippi. Chickasaw deputies and Hoka police stopped Daniel Sullivan of Houston for a traffic violation. During the stop, officers found the meth. Sullivan was arrested by the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit. Time for a first look at our forecast on this Thursday evening. Here's Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for that.
Well, tonight, sunset, a stunner. Look at this. Our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Columbus. You can see the sun has set, but What a phenomenal sunset we had here on the western horizon. We are cooler, much cooler than 24 hours ago. Not mid-30s, how about mid-40s? We're going down into the mid-30s later on this evening by 11 o'clock. We're clear all evening long. A lot of 40s now, 30s later this evening. Our forecast lows tonight, look at this. Around freezing, some spots likely into the upper 20s. Tupelo, Columbus, about 29 degrees. We'll warm it up, though, tomorrow on the weekend. More in just a few minutes.
If you carry a concealed handgun in Alabama, you must have a permit. But a Tuscaloosa area lawmaker wants to change the law. Republican Gerald Allen has tried before to repeal the permit requirement.
His bill is back in front of the Alabama legislature. WCBI's Victoria Bailey spent the day in Alabama listening to how residents there feel about the possible new law. She's joining us in the studio with that story. Victoria.
Yeah, Joey and Andrea, I talked with tons of Alabamians today, and they all have different opinions. Some are concerned about their safety, while others are worried about their rights.
In order to carry a concealed gun in Alabama, you need one of these, but some people say that's too much red tape.
You have the right to carry that firearm, but you have to have all these other odds and ends and documents saying you can, when you should just be able to go purchase it and carry it if you choose.
Alabama lawmaker Gerald Allen pre-filed this bill in January.
In effect, what this bill does is it takes a tool away from law enforcement to be able to disarm violent criminals.
This proposal has many members of law enforcement concerned.
As a sheriff, I firmly back the Second Amendment, and I want all of our citizens to be able to be armed to protect themselves. But at the same time, law enforcement has to be able to go in and disarm bad actors, criminals, mentally ill, terrorists. And I don't think this bill has been well thought out.
Lamar County Sheriff Hal Allred tells WCBI the $20 fee to carry a concealed weapon permit assists the department with many necessities, and Pickens County Sheriff David Abston agrees.
This money generated from the pistol permit goes to buy our uniforms, equipment, our firearms, our training, our ammunition to train, and sending the people to the police academy. Once you take away that funding, where is this money going to come from?
Abston goes on to say the Alabama Sheriff's Association, along with Pickens County Commission, are against the bill. Joey?
All right, thanks a lot, Victoria. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley wastes no time filling the Senate seat left vacant by Jeff Sessions' confirmation as U.S. Attorney General. Bentley appointed Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange to replace Sessions until an election can be held. Strange, a lawyer and former Washington lobbyist, has served as Attorney General in the state since 2011. Last year, his office led a corruption investigation involving the governor. Bentley says an election will be held next year. Strange says he will run for the seat permanently.
Well, it is rare to use the words peaceful and protest in the same sentence, but that's exactly what happened today at Congressman Trent Kelly's Tupelo office. What started as a protest turned into a meeting between Kelly and a group of citizens from across North Mississippi who are concerned about the future of the Affordable Care Act. That group sat down with the congressman to stress they don't want to see medical care in the country return to the pre-ACA days. Organizers say Kelly was receptive to their questions but could not provide details on what a new medical plan would look like, but he did say he was committed to making sure no one was left out in the cold.
A number of bills failed to make a deadline today in the Mississippi legislature. Among the dead bills are a proposal for a state lottery and measures that would have changed the way the state funds education. Any action would now have to come in a special session later this year. The education bills were placeholders meant to be changed later. Republican leaders want a new funding formula based on a proposal from the New Jersey-based consultant EdBuild. It would replace the current education funding method, the Mississippi Adequate Education Program. Lawmakers have only fully funded MAEP twice. It's been in place 20 years.
The Mississippi Supreme Court effectively ends a legal battle today. There was a lawsuit to end the use of a machine that many call the Demon Chipmunk from reading bills aloud in the legislature. Here's what that high-speed computer voice sounds like.
I reason of resignation or termination the office of superintendent for the Greenville Public School District becomes vacant after July.
It's kind of fast. Democrat Jay Hughes of Oxford sued Republican House Speaker Philip Gunn over the use of the machine last year. Democrats wanted bills to be read aloud in their entirety, a strategy often used to slow down proceedings. Republican leadership responded by running the bill reader at a maximum speed. The state Supreme Court ruled today to send the case back to Hinds County with instructions to dismiss the case.
A new entertainment venue is nearing completion in Lowndes County.
We check in on the progress after the break.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. It appears a field full of possibilities and miracles will become a reality in Lowndes County. The goal is to build the $250,000 playing surface with in-kind services. A Miracle League field is designed for children with disabilities. The surface will be vinyl or rubber to allow wheelchair use. Columbus and Lowndes County leaders have pledged $50,000 each if needed. Golden Triangle Outdoors is providing $100,000. Now volunteers need to find a location for the field.
The next step is number one, the first thing is we've got to decide where we want to put the park, the field at, and we have two options, the county or city, and based on some information from our handicapped family, we're going to give them opportunity to put some input in where they'd like to have it.
Now, if the work starts this spring, the field could be completed by the fall.
An almost $3 million amphitheater project in Columbus is nearly complete. Workers are building the walls at the back of the stage and framing up restrooms. Once everything is done, the theater will be able to seat up to 2,500 people with plans to expand.
Stages are completely up. They're doing the setting the walls. The ADA ramps are being completed already, should I say, for safety for people with wheelchairs, accessibility, and other features of that nature.
The venue near the Columbus Riverwalk is scheduled to be completed by the end of May.
It's been a pretty nice evening out there, albeit chilly. Look at this sunset from Caledonia, Mississippi. The sun going on down, just a few of those wispy cirrus clouds, and that was the view in Starkville a few minutes ago. Your full forecast for Friday and the weekend is up next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Abundant sunshine out there today. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus. You can see as we went throughout the course of the afternoon, we had a few clouds move on through, some of those cirrus clouds and some of those low-level cumulus clouds, but by and large, a pretty nice afternoon. Now we are much cooler today than yesterday. Now rising in the east this evening, right there, that is a 98% full moon. I want to say 95 for some reason, but it's 98% full tonight. The full moon tomorrow night. Currently in the low and mid 40s across the board here, but it's going to be a quick cool down. We're down into the low 30s, upper 20s tonight, back into the 60s tomorrow with still sunny skies. Get ready to enjoy a pretty nice Friday for us. Now for the weekend, 70s will return Saturday and Sunday. There could be a few showers around. Tomorrow will be sunny, but there will be a lot of cloud cover around with that warmer weather this weekend. You can see the snow still flying out here across New England. Out there in Boston, Cape Cod, it is coming down in big time form as far as the snowflakes are concerned. As we zoom it back out, our neck of the woods all nice and quiet. There's our weather for Friday. All things very quiet, and another system out there across the Pacific Northwest. Your forecast low for tonight, 29 degrees, clear and cold. The wind has really diminished from where we were earlier today. And here's our city-by-city forecast for tomorrow. 64 in Tupelo, 63 in Boonville, 64 in Oxford, 66 in Bruce, 65 in Houston. Down to the south, about 65 in Columbus, 64, 65 Starkville, Louisville, Ackerman, Eupora. You name it, we're going to be in the mid-60s here, and also into the low to mid-60s across West Alabama. But the big story, still sunny, just warmer than what we had out there today. High pressure controlled our weather today. It will control our weather tomorrow, but with high pressure, once high pressure moves east, we have southerly breezes develop, and that will be the case for our Friday and also for your Saturday and Sunday. That system right there, that front, will be approaching late Sunday. It will move through Sunday night and Monday. Out ahead of it, warm southerly flow, maybe a few spotty showers as we go throughout the course of your Saturday, even into Sunday too. But that's the way we're looking at as we go throughout the next couple of days. 65 Friday, 72 Saturday, 73 Sunday, and then a little bit cooler as we get into next week, but nothing cold by any means. We're still talking about mid to upper 50s, but this weekend will just be unseasonably warm again. A few spotty showers with highs in the 70s.
Coming up, the SEC announces its preseason selections for the upcoming baseball season. See where the Bulldogs and Rebels are picked to finish next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Starting next week at this time, we'll be ready to break out our grills, move into left field lounge, or break out the chairs to find our spot in the right field terrace at Ole Miss. Baseball season nearly here. There's no shortage of talent in the Southeastern Conference this year on the diamond, but only one ball player for the Magnolia State made the All-SEC first team announced by coaches today. That would be outfielder Jake Mangum of Mississippi State, lone Bulldog or Rebel on the All-SEC first team picked by the coaches. Mangum finished his freshman season at Mississippi State with a .408 batting average. Here you see his lone home run, which we did get on video against Ole Miss. And he also had 28 RBIs. Your second team All-SEC, two Ole Miss guys, Tate Blackman, Colby Bortles, and the other MSU player on the second team is Brent Rooker, the outfielder for MSU. Florida, by the way, had 5 players on the first team. That's why they're picked to win the SEC this year. LSU's not too far behind them, though. Speaking of LSU, they're picked to finish first in the SEC West. A&M got the other first-place vote. Ole Miss picked to finish third. Your defending SEC champs from Mississippi State picked to finish fourth. But MSU usually picked around that mark the last few years, so we'll see what all happens. It's going to be a fun baseball season. Again, it all gets going coming up next week. Let's go to the signing day circuit. New Hope Trojan Jaquante Bell signed to continue his basketball career with Northeast Community College today. Bell is averaging 16.5 points per game along with 7 boards in his one season with the Trojans after transferring from West Lowndes. The newest Tiger says he's heading to Boonville because the coaching staff has wanted him since day one.
The coaches stayed on me and they recruited me, telling me different things that I can develop and they can send me to D1. I feel good today. Today was a big day, signing and having a lot of people support me.
He's getting a kid that plays extremely hard on the floor with a lot of emotion. Big, strong kid who does a really good job of scoring inside and rebounding the basketball and plays with a lot of toughness.
To the gridiron up at Pontotoc, one of our top linemen in the area will be moving up to the JUCO level. Cooper Knight signed to continue his football career at Northeast following graduation. Knight developed as one of the top defensive linemen for the Warriors during his junior and senior seasons. He's eager to prove himself when he moves up to play with the Tigers at the next level as he makes the transition to being a full-time offensive lineman.
I like their coaching staff. I like their school. I know a bunch of kids that's going up there that I used to play football with as peewees, and we're really good friends that I look forward to playing with them.
Cooper's been a 3-year starter for us on offensive line, but he was a mainstay for us this year on defensive line. Had to play a 3-man front, so he had to take on a lot of double teams and take a lot of pressure off our linebackers. Did a good job for us, played with a lot of effort.
And lastly, at Choctaw County, Woody Val signed to play baseball today for the East Central Warriors in Decatur. Val has started on the gridiron and the diamond for the Chargers, throwing for more than 30 touchdowns in his career in football while batting .432 with 9 doubles last year. The dual sport stud says he chose his first love when it came to deciding his future.
That's just what I've been playing since I was a kid. I've been playing since I was about 4 years old, and that's just truly what my love was. That's what I wanted to do.
Woody's the type of kid that I actually have a little boy, and I hope my little boys
similar to him. Very, very, very competitive, wants to win, just comes out every day and works really hard.
Congrats to all of our area signings. Big night tonight of basketball, by the way. MSU taking on Vanderbilt, Ole Miss playing LSU. We were at Cowbell Yell at Duty Noble Field, so we'll have that and all sorts of other high school and JUCO basketball highlights coming up at 10. That's it for sports. We'll get a last look at your forecast when we come back.
Don't forget it's going to be a cold night, upper 20s to around 30 degrees, but tomorrow a quick warm-up. We are back into most likely the 60s. Where is that 7-day forecast?
It's coming.
It's cold.
It's
and
coming?
that's what happened.
And
It's cold.
Now, there it is.
Where is it?
Nope.
Hey, look at that.
50.
Oh, boy. See, the clicker's already frozen because it's so cold.
Exactly.
65 tomorrow, but 70s for the weekend.
That's like a perfect Friday for me. I love
70
it.
and 60s,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.